Hey, welcome back. My name's Dean. I like to make music. Today, we are going to record some guitars. I have my trusty little Donner, what is it? A Donner Hush X. And I got this guitar about a year ago. And I love it. It's awesome. It's just a great guitar to have in your studio, just laying around. You pick it up, you plug it in, you play it. I've got a whole bunch of other guitars in the past, and I can go into a whole nother video about guitars in just specifically. But today we're going to record guitars. So come join me. We're going to do this in PreSonus Studio One. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe below. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, let's get to it. Let's record some guitars. See you there. All right, we are here in beautiful Studio One. Again, I use Studio One 5. Maybe I'll upgrade one day. I don't know. We'll see. But so far, I'm loving it. But what we have here is basically a chorus that I need to record guitars for, and just wanted to go through how I like to approach guitar recording, and maybe you can learn something from it, or maybe you can watch this video and you can teach me something. Either way, just trying to provide value for you. But I think overall my approach to recording guitars can be summed up in one word, and that's layer. Layer. I like to layer guitars. Just like you would vocals, I like to layer guitars and really adjust the levels, the faders, and see how that works a lot of times. And usually it works pretty good. Okay, so one thing before we get started. This may sound a little silly, but sometimes you'll forget. First thing you should do is tune your guitar. And what I would recommend for maybe beginners is tune your guitar, play the guitar for maybe a few minutes, stretch out the strings, and then check your tuning again. Your instruments, stringed instruments, I would say, typically need to be, you kind of need to warm them up. I know that sounds crazy, but as you play, your guitar is going to warm up a little bit. You're going to find that you play for a few minutes and then you check the tuning, and then you're slightly out of tune again. So it's good to warm up in general, but just a little piece of advice there. Always tune your instrument before recording. So with that said, we're going to start recording. I'm going to let you hear. Basically, this is a verse going into a chorus, and the chorus part, which you see here, chorus 2, that's the part we need guitars in. So this is verse going into chorus. All right, so open chorus, but it's missing the guitars, I feel. So what I'm playing here, and I need to actually update this here real quick, because these are E minors. They are not just E's. So what I'm playing is E minor, C, G, D. And I just repeat that twice, essentially. So I like to first lay down the rhythm, just the foundation. So I'm really just going to mimic the chords, the chord progression. I don't think I'm going to stray away from that on the guitar side. And let's see how it sounds. So this is track 1. And I'll record a guitar and then I'll go into what what I'm choosing. I'm using Amplitude, by the way. We'll go into that in a second. So let's record. So that's one guitar. I'm actually going to record that again. I didn't like the beginning. All right, we'll keep that. But that's essentially what we'll do. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'll fix that later. We'll do editing later. I'm going to go ahead and double this real quick. Okay, I jumped ahead a little bit here. But what I've done here is rendered this audio track that we just recorded using Amplitude. And I'll explain why in a second. But if we go into real quick what I'm using. So I'm using Amplitude 5. I'm a big fan of Amplitude. I think I think IK Multimedia just did great with this. I also use Modo Bass for my bass. That's a whole nother video. But big fan of the Soldano, kind of the mimicked Soldano. I don't think they have the rights to use the name, but it's clearly a Soldano amplifier head, and I'm just using a noise gate on this, just so there's not excessive noise. I mean, this is really what I would use in a live scenario. So, and we can get into all the different settings and all that stuff, but that's not really what this video is for. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing, but I think it's got a good tone. I always like that Soldano tone. So anyway, we're going to go ahead. We're going to double this part that we just recorded. Okay, so real quick, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move this Amplitude over. I'll explain what I'm doing here. I'm actually going to I'm not going to remove that, but I'm going to put this in Unity Gain. As I'm recording these virtual instruments, I'm going to be layering, I think, for like probably six different guitar tracks during this video. As we do that, I'm using more and more Amplitude virtual instruments, which I can handle that probably, but I don't want things to get crazy and from a computing like resource standpoint. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go down here to transform rendered audio for what we just recorded. And what that's going to do is essentially it's going to take the audio that we just recorded, and it's going to basically render it to a new audio track without the Amplitude plugin, but we're going to have the same recording. As if you were to, I like to think of it as, you're recording a guitar amp. If you were recording a guitar amp, this is what you would see right here. You wouldn't have your virtual instruments, so it would just be audio going into the computer. And a lot of times I like to just commit to a sound and render the audio and then just move forward. Yes, so I go in and tweak some things in the Amplitude plugin, but I feel like at some point you got to just commit to the track, commit to the sound. That's what music production's all about. You have a sound in your head, you tweak it a little bit, but you like what you hear, commit to it. And I feel like the workflow just is more efficient that way. Anywho, let's hear what we just did. I'm actually going to pull this down and make sure these match. Let's see what we got. All right, not bad. Now, I know I just went on a spiel about transforming audio and all that stuff. I have a feeling I'd probably lower the distortion a little bit on the amp. But for this purposes, we're going to let the guitars rock, okay, for this video. So we've recorded 2 rhythm tracks. Sorry, I have to change my inputs here. 1 second. So we recorded 2 rhythm tracks. What can we do to go on top of the rhythm? A lot of times I like to layer all kinds of stuff, to be honest with you. But I like to layer like octaves. So when I say octaves, like those kind of chords on top of the chord progression, like the kind of just foundational chord progression, if you will. So I'm going to play this a little bit. Actually, no, I'm just going to record something. See how it goes. Let's see what we got. I don't know. I kind of liked it. I might have messed up one time, but let's just see what we got. I'm going to hear that beginning real quick. All right, we're going to record it again because I think I can just, especially that beginning part, I don't really like it. So let's do it again. Much better. Let's double that. Boom. All right. There we go. So I'm going to render this track. And then we're going to listen to it. We're going to listen to it. All right, so let's listen to what we have so far. Good enough for disco. So it's good, but I think there's one more layer. I think we can do one more layer at least. So what is that layer? how is that going to sound? I'm thinking harmony octave part over the octave part we just recorded. Okay, so I think I know what we're going to do. So I'm thinking harmony octave parts, and I'll just record it, show you what I'm talking about. All right, let's go ahead and let's double that. I'm almost thinking that the highest harmony part we just recorded, I just recorded and you're watching, we'll do that halfway through the chorus. But I'm going to record the whole chorus just to have it. Just in case it doesn't work. But I don't know. Let's double that. See what we got. I don't know. Let's see how it sounds. Yeah, so let's take these two guys here, and I am going to kind of scale that back a little bit, and then all this I need to put crossfades, or I have to, not crossfades, but fades and all that stuff, but that's a little bit later. Let's hear how it sounds when it's the second half of the chorus. We got that highest part. Yeah, I'm digging that. I'm liking that a lot better. And I'll go ahead. I'm probably gonna go ahead and kind of fiddle with amplitude a little bit. Maybe scale back a little bit of the distortion, so there's not so much distortion. I feel like the song's not necessarily it's not like a heavy rock song, but the guitars definitely need to be there. But yeah, that's it. That's basically I tell you, that's really like 90% of my process in recording guitars. It's like I record a foundational chord progression. I double just about everything. Most of the time, I'll even double solos and stuff. But then there's sometimes I don't. Kind of depends. Solos are a little bit different. But when it comes to like rhythm guitars and even lead parts, I'm recording a foundational chord progression. Then I'm layering something on top of that chord progression that's not the same exact thing. But, and a lot of times, if it's my layered parts are typically higher than my foundational parts, because my foundational chord progressions are typically just lower. They're usually chords, which are just lower in register. They're lower on the fretboard. So then I kind of just add dimensions to that. And then when you put it all together, all the layers become one, so to speak, and it just sounds really good. So anyway, long video really, but I just wanted to show you. I was recording guitars. I was like, hey, let's make a video. And look, I really appreciate watching. If you come this far, please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. I love making music, and I'll just continue recording my process, and hopefully you enjoy it. And again, if you have any comments or anything, please comment below. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you liked it, let me know. Or maybe there's some things I was doing that you saw maybe could be done better. But all in all, I real just grateful you've come this far. And with that being said, have fun, make music. See you next time.